Today we're going to be rating custom Magic the Gathering cards, starting off with the Crowd Monitor. This is a white, 1 generic 2/2 bird construct. It flies. Also has white, 1 generic tap. Destroy all untapped creatures. Oh, that's interesting. Activate only as a sorcery and only once per turn. Well, hopefully you only need to do it once per turn. And then it also has another one, because the first ability is interesting because when you tap it, I mean, it has complete immunity, protection from itself. Now we have the second ability, white, 1 generic. Untap it, destroy all tapped creatures, activate only as a sorcery and only once per turn. Oh, that's interesting. So we basically can wipe the board while keeping the Crowd Monitor alive. Keeping an eye on that crowd. First destroys all untapped creatures, then destroys all the tapped creatures. All we need is 6 mana, and it perpetually wipes the board over and over again. Remember, it still has summoning sickness, so everyone has, everyone has basically one rotation to deal with this, or it's all over. All right, what do we do with? I think this is a really cool card. In fact, I think this is a very unique banger of a card. And I think it's very reliable as a 2/2. Disperse now. This will be your only warning. Crowd Monitor, it warned you, all right? All right, we have a bingo card today. Thanks to the wonderful Ferginka, also wishing me a happy birthday. Thank you very much, Ferginka. What a day to spend my birthday than be rating custom Magic the Gathering cards all day. All right, we are recycling an old mechanic, the old Untapperoonies. All right, so we are actually the first thing on this board gets nailed off. And it's a very interesting board wipe. The old untap mechanic. We don't see that mechanic anymore. That was an oldie but a goldie. Okay, moving on. We've got the Rebel Spirit. This is a red enchantment. As long as the Monarch has more life than every other player, all creatures have dethrone and damage can't be prevented. As long as the Monarch has more life, all creatures, all of them, have dethrone. Oh, hold on. I don't remember what dethrone does. Whenever a creature with dethrone attacks the player with the most life or tied for the most life, put a +1/+1 counter on. Ah, I see. So when we try to dethrone, we're actually... So we're trying to dethrone, and we get bigger if we kill the damn thing. But no, then we become the Monarch. All creatures can't have dethrone, and damage can't be prevented. So no fogging around here. Toilet Deck says, my biggest problem with this bingo card, why isn't Nikachu can't read cards the free space? That, you know what? I don't build the thing, so it's not up to me. So anyway, I think this is a perfectly fine card. It's a 1 red enchantment. So for anyone trying to quickly ramp out a Monarch card out onto the battlefield, become the Monarch, start drawing cards too early, well, we're all gonna gang up on you with of course, the Rebel Spirit, the Spirit of the Rebels. Does this hit anything on this card though? Is this a waifu card at all? No, not really. Discuss the rules, too much X, Dono to Pedgeman for X color. No one knows what the card does. Superchat to complete bingo. We did this already. Learn grammar. Reddit search. Can't read cards. 5 words in card type. No, I don't think so. It's too innocent. Too innocent around here. All right, let's take a look at... we have a super chat here from the Damn Draws. Packed Clown Car. And as per the new rules, the show is too long. The show gets 3+ hours long, so it's now $5 per card, 5-card limit. And of course, we look at the series of cards after the sponsor segment. But this is just a single card. So we got Packed Clown. Look at Packed Clown. I don't see it. Clown Car? Clown. I don't know why I didn't look it up. Discord works funny sometimes, but less funny than Reddit. All right, we have a 3-mana double X. Shouldn't that just be star? Isn't that just X for no reason? Trample. If Clown Car would destroy a creature in combat, take control of it instead. Ah. What's yours is mine now, and what's mine is mine as well. That creature becomes a clown in addition to its other types. Clown Car's power and toughness are each equal to the number of clowns that crewed it. When Clown Car is destroyed, create a copy of each clown, that crude clown car. Why are we making a copy? Oh, I guess we're just creating like a clone of everything that actually died. Crew by Clowns X. That makes sense, but the XX on this thing doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It should actually just be star star. I've never seen X being used like that. Now, that being said, I think the card is totally fine. You just have to make that slight adjustment. And you got your clown car vehicle. Very flavorful, I might add. So where does this hit on our bingo card? Too much X. It was completely unnecessary. That's a star ability. Has Wizards of the Coast put out a circus theme set yet? Yes. That's the unsets. The unsets have a whole circus. You can go on a Ferris wheel and go to the theme park. Oh yeah, we've got clowns. They'd be clowning around. It absolutely counts for too much X, in my opinion. Do I have like a clown sort of thing here? No, I got nothing. All right, thank you very much for the super chat. There's performers and like 10 clowns. There we go. Hey, every clown is a performer, but not every performer is a clown. I'll admit that. Back to the freebie section, we have the Aberrant Vampire. Now, this is a Orzhov 1/1 vampire flying with deviation. Now, as long as the difference between your current and starting life totals is 10 or greater, Aberrant Vampire gets +5/+5. Isn't this literally Sarah's Ascendant? It's literally the same thing, right? But in vampire form, if I understand correctly. I mean, hey, I think there's nothing wrong with that. As long as oh no, I guess the difference is it's referencing your starting life total. So in Commander, if you start at 40, then it's just gonna go up, right? I mean, so you have to be higher. Whereas with Sarah's Ascendant, you already started at like it said like if your life total is 30 or higher, then it gets the buff. Here, you actually have to work for it. No life link, but it includes when you are less than 10 life. That's for sure. Where are we right now? Is this a series or just random Reddit? This is random Reddit. There's no series on Reddit. That's for sure. It is just a random amount of Magic the Gathering community. All right, so we've got what's it called? I think this is a totally fine card. Now, where does this hit on the bingo card? Can't get rid of this. 5 cards a name, wife card, learn grammar. We already did this. Super chat, complete bingo, new creature type. We know exactly what this card does. Chaos ensues. More than a 10/10. Nope. Okay. Nothing outrageous here. This is a completely fine card. Okay, I'll take a look at your super. The problem is with some of your bingo cards, Steve Cooper, it's just people who donate. So it's like it's like a bingo card for the coffee crew, but not so much a bingo card for like viewers of the show. But I'll take a look at your other bingo cards. All right, next up we've got oh, the damn draws wants to super chat in between. Bonk in a box. Bonk in a box. You know what's funny? I looked up the word bonk. Like, okay, so I don't know how Europeans feel about this, but in America, bonk is like you get bonked in the head, or a cat bonks you in the head. They just move and they boop. It's like a boop. Bonk and boop, same thing. But I found out when like looking it up online, bonk means to bang in like UK English. That's what bonk means there. Like you're banging somebody. So anyway, bonk, bit of a language difference. You know, I mean, any Europeans hearing bonk in a box. What do you think when you hear that? All right, 5 mana instant. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each clown you control. Oh, it's for the it's for the clown deck. Deal damage equal to twice the power of target clown you control to target creature you don't control. So deal damage equal to twice the number of power. Twice the power of target clown you control to target creature. Oh, it's basically a super fight spell. And it's going to deal an insane amount of damage. Deals twice the power of target clown. I don't know why clowns would be attacking for a whole lot. Unless you got It on your team. It the clown. Where are the... Maybe Krusty the clown can fight for something. Benjamin Berkeley is like sex in a box. Yeah, I'm wondering, maybe some people think of it that way. Bonk has both meanings in UK, so it's okay. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's good. Because I was looking it up online one day, and it's like, what? They interpret it that way? I was just clarifying something for my wife. Like, she was like, what does bonk exactly mean? Well, I'll show you exactly what it means. It's always been used like this. Anyway, I was surprised it had alternative meanings overseas. We have the ley line of poverty. This is a colorless 2 generic ley line enchantment. If ley line of poverty is in your opening hand, you may begin to play with ley line of poverty in play. Now, when ley line of poverty enters the battlefield, exile all spells and permanents with market value 10 USD or greater. Now, players can't cast spells or play lands with mana value 10 US or greater. This is a phenomenal idea. And the problem is, like, you're gonna have to prove every single time you try to play a card, you have to, like, prove the USD value of your cards. Like, okay, look, this thing, market value used, TCG, $9.76. I cast, you know, whatever card. It's not, we're not going down to pauper. Let's not $10 a card is a lot of money here. You know, let's pull out Nikachu's calculator. I probably don't even need to do this. If you have 99 cards in your deck times $9.99, this is the maximum we can get at this $10 threshold. You have a $989 commander deck. That's still like $1,000. Still a little coin over there. When calculating market value, do we go by cheapest printing or most expensive? Because then all alpha cards are screwed in the ladder. I think we're going to go by cheapest printing. If you can find something that went... I wonder if we go by condition, too. So people are like, you know what? That thing's too pristine. It's like near mint. You can't go by the used TCG price. We have to look at the near mint price. The lowest near mint price. Round it up. Cause some fights over here. But yeah, I like the idea. Now, mind you, like, you know, Wizards experimented with not exactly cards like this, but, you know, like City in a Bottle, destroy everything from homelands. I think this is in the same vein, the same world. So I think that's pretty cool. Go by average price. I get, you know, that's possible. You figure it out in your play group. The ley line of poverty. No expensive cards around here. It's a great way to balance the economy of the game. You know, it's interesting. A lot of people are trying to figure out how to balance Commander for power level. Maybe you could do that with price. Like, if your deck is over $1,000, maybe that's like that's price point. And you can, like, basically change the value. I mean, there's a lot of powerful cards that are cheap. Don't get me wrong. Soul Ring, for example. But that is not too bad of a barometer, I think, to balance the power level of your deck. If your deck is over $1,000, you got to bring it under 1,000. Have an appraiser ready when you play this card. Maybe have some lawyers come by. Anyway, I think this is a cool card. Very, very card. What if Ley Line of Poverty goes over $10? Well, it doesn't matter because it's the first one that comes into play. So once it enters the battlefield, that's when it takes effect. So this thing could be $1,000. It could be $150. It could be $100. I have a Merfolk Commander that's almost $1,000, but it's not even that good because it's Merfolk and Commander. You know, I'm in the same boat as you, Morbid Panda. 100% in the same boat. Wait, doesn't City of Ball destroy everything from Arabian Nights? Exactly. It destroys everything from that exact set. All right, next. Let's go to Force of Denial. Oh, the other one was Flare of Denial. They're taking Force of Will, Flare of Denial, melding it together. It's a blue, 1 generic instant. Now, if you control no permanents, you may pay 0 rather than pay this spell's mana cost. Counter target spell with mana value 2 or greater. So if I have no permanents, you may pay... Oh, so this is basically a type of card. Play at the beginning of the game. Prevent the opponent from getting out of control very early in the game. I want to say someone made a very similar card like this in the past. It's like, if this is the first card if it's the first card your opponent has played in the game, counter that spell. So the ability to counter a Mana Dork or counter a Soul Ring. Like basically you're hitting the first thing, but you're not hitting the big thing later on. This only punishes fast starts. No fast plays around here. Not under my watch. All right, you got it. Enemy spotted. Mental misstep at home. Yeah, something like that, except more flexible. Mental misstep, but also better late game. Hey, 3 mana cancel. It's not. Oh no, it's not even a 3 mana cancel. It's counter target spell with mana value 2 or greater. So I can't even hit the Soul Ring. Okay, so basically we are just hard punishing any big plays very early on in the game. Yeah, very early on in the game. We can't even stop the Mana Dorks, the Soul Rings, and so on. The Lotus Petals. They'll get underneath the force of denial. It's terrible if you have 1 land in play. Oh yeah, it's gonna get bad. It gets bad real fast. So it can only punish someone going big, like playing their commander on like turn 1 effectively. That's the only thing it's basically built to do. This is so specific, anti-turn 1 combos. Yeah, I think it's cool. Okay, so anyway, that is a great card, in my opinion. Is anything new here? 15, it is so specific. Well, it's not, you know what? It's not super specific. But it's, okay, we'll give it to it. It's specific enough. Someone said that's so specific, and we done need burgers. Because of you, it's over here. Okay, we crossed something off the bingo card. Something got crossed off. We also did this already, technically. No, we didn't. There was other types of cards like this in the past. Just reminded everyone who super chatted, anyone with a series, we always look at the cards in the second half of the show. Or I should say, after the sponsored segment. Time lock. We got blue, 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 3 generic for an instant. Target spell gains epic. How epic. So what is epic? It's like you can't play spells for the rest of the game, but at your upkeep, you get to cast that spell infinite times. So if you do this for an extra turn spell, like, don't you just basically... well, I mean, you may not basically win, because if you can't cast anything else from your hand, you lose. If I understand that correctly. Okay, so actually copying Time Warp isn't going to work for you. Everyone expected Teferi to put an end to Withorn's schemes. No one ever expected the Time Mage to lock it in a loop of its own mistakes. This is amazing. I was about to make a card like that, but it's okay. I got more jokes in the bag. Morbid Panda says, I hate this so much. Now, what do you hate about this card? Imagine doing this when your opponent casts a legendary creature. They literally stuck casting unless useless garbage. Oh, yeah. You know what? It probably should say target spell you control gains epic, because you can basically lock someone out of the game too early. You know what? I agree. Actually, this card's probably broken. It's supremely, completely broken. Drain life could work. Oh yeah, drain. Yeah, if you copy your own drain life, that would be a way to win the game. So this is probably broken because you can lock someone out of the game by just epicking their own spell over and over and over again. Like, it basically says your opponent can't play any other cards for the rest of the game, and they're stuck to this one spell that they cast. What if it was like just a card draw spell, and they just draw cards every single turn, but they cannot do anything with it? So with that design flaw in mind, to the rank with this card. Absolutely to the rank. Yeah, epic their Dark Ritual. And there's such a large range of cards that basically just say you lose the game, because you can't add to the board for the rest of the game. Like a lot of those epic cards, they like add creatures to the board every single turn. So there's a lot of ways of just getting completely locked out by this thing. Wouldn't the X in Drain Life be 0 for the rest of the game? That's true. So I think the idea is you copy a Drain Life like a type of card. Like maybe one that's like there's another one where it drains and gains equal to the number of swamps you control. So this spell is total evil. Complete evil. So this is the trash with this thing. Is it too broken? Learn grammar. We did this. Chaos, more than 10-10. 2-hour stream. Discussing the rules. We discovered something with it. You can't get rid of this card. We can get rid of it. You can't get rid of the card that it copies, though. That it epics. Cool card. It's a very interesting card, but it's funny how it's broken, but not for the reasons we thought. So the way to make this fair is that you have to put target spell you control gains epic, and then that's it. That's all you need to do. We got Heaven's Gate here for white, 2 generic for a 2/10 wall. It's got Defender, Flying, and Absorb 2. So if a source would deal damage to this creature, prevent 2 of that damage, Heaven's Gate can block any number of creatures, and whenever damage is dealt to Heaven's Gate or damage prevented, put that many +1/+1 counters on Heaven's Gate and gain that much life. Damage is dealt to Heaven's Gate, prevent that damage gain. So basically, we're gaining life for the damage that is dealt to this damn thing. Toilet Duck says, bingo! 4 mana plus 4+ mana of the same color in mana cost. Oh, is that hit here? We got that here? For a single mana cost. We're already on our way to make a bingo on the horizontal top row over here. Thanks so much, Toilet Duck, for that excellent spot. This is interesting. So this reminds me of 100-handed one, which basically you can block like an additional 99 creatures. You can block basically as many creatures as you want, assuming your opponent doesn't have infinite creatures. But you can gain off of this thing. Now it does have Defender. But hey, you players, you know how to turn the things around from Defender to attacking. I think this is a banger card. The more you block, the more you gain. It's basically more pain, more gain this card does. And then it can even absorb. I don't even think it needs that much toughness. Like 10 toughness, I feel that's a bit overkill. It should be working low and then working its way up over time. Because it's going to get big no matter what, right? If someone casts Meteorite while you have Heaven's Gate in play, sacrifice all creatures you control. Allegro Rubato. Try to get my cards in time for next stream. There is a stream literally every week. So you're not missing out on anything. Don't worry. This isn't a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. This is a once-in-a-week opportunity. There's always another opportunity next week. Author of Fate. We have a black 5 generic 3/5 avatar. Now, other creatures are enchantment sagas with Chapter 1, Life, and Chapter 2, Death, in addition to their other types. Like, what does it do, though? Whenever one or more final chapter abilities resolve, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. Other creatures are enchantment sagas with Chapter 1 Life and Chapter 2 Death. So basically, this enters the battlefield, everything immediately triggers on 1, and then with whenever 1 or more final chapter... What does final chapter mean? So, like, does it literally mean the final Yeah, I think it literally means the final chapter with the death. Okay, so at the end... Not at the end. Next turn, when we hit Chapter 2... Do we, like, lose all our creatures? Other creatures? Oh, no, it's also their creatures, too. Oh, my God. What is going on here? Yeah, everything Yeah, they die. Everyone's dead. It's not just our creatures, it's our opponent's creatures. You know, it's ticking time on. It's a ticking time bomb. Alert, discussing the rules. We are discussing. Toilet Duck is just on the ball here. I appreciate it. Discussing the rules. It's better than me looking for it. All right, we almost got a corner over here. We almost got a corner. You know, I remember the lottery tickets, bingo lottery tickets. You got a payout for, like, if you could get each corner. You know, there's different objectives, not just getting things in a row. If your creature don't have haste, you can't even use them. That's correct. Well, I mean, you just don't put them in play, right? That's true, actually. So immediately this thing comes into play. Life already triggers immediately. And then death triggers on their turn. Once it hits their upkeep, they're dead. Oh, other creatures. Reading the card explains the card. Oh, you thought this one was going to die too? It almost makes sense. But it's... Actually, is this perpetual? Other creatures are enchantment sagas. I think it should say when this enters the battlefield. Other creatures are enchantment sagas. I think that it shouldn't. I can't tell. It is 7 mana, but is it too oppressive that this thing just sits on the board, or is this like or is it fine in an Iona sort of way? Which, by the way, in Commander is not fine. It's supremely banned in there, and it does nothing if the opponent removes it. Yeah. Oh yeah. If this thing if this thing gets removed on other creatures or sagas. Yeah, so long as this thing is in play, it doesn't gain anything. So I would say this card would make a hell lot more sense if it was worded like, when Author of Fate enters the battlefield, other creatures become enchantments and gain Chapter 1 life and Chapter 2 death, in addition to their other types or whatever. Yeah, it's a perpetual thing as it stands, right? It sounds like it's perpetual so long as this is in play. Then if this leaves, it probably they all lose the ability. It's almost like a lord or whatever. We should cross off Nikachu improving a card for changing the targeting on time lock. Oh yeah. Do we have that? Do we have something? Nikachu improving a card. Yeah, and basically making it legal. In fact, I'm trying to make this card legal. This card feels illegal to me. It's basically a board wipe. You just pass the turn and then everything is dead. Yeah, it's a lord that transforms. Okay, I'm gonna say, I can't be sure. I want to say it's broken. I think it should just ETB, give everything on the battlefield this clause. Because the thing is, so long as it's on the battlefield, every single time you play a creature, like, it does nothing. It's just going to die next turn. It's perpetually in trouble. So seems like a super unfun card to play against. But it makes a whole lot of sense if it enters the battlefield and just gives everybody the ability. Because you have to kill this thing. I mean, this thing has its own liability, but it's a 3/7 creature, and it's a slightly difficult to get off the battlefield. I'm fairly certain the author wanted to make a time lock to harm the opponent. This is like a tabernacle on the battlefield, as far as I'm concerned. Tabernacle you cannot deal with. All right, we've got Goodbye, Sayonara, So Long, Sucker. It is a white 2 generic sorcery with Escalate 1. So actually, 4 mana, you didn't pay enough mana. Pay this cost for each mode chosen beyond the first. Oh, do we get 1? Okay, so choose 1 or more. Okay, so 4 mana, we can destroy all artifacts, destroy all creatures, destroy all enchantments, and exile all graveyards. Ah, this is like, it's basically like the sequel to Farewell. So how many abilities are we going to choose here, Coffee Crew? For the low cost of 7 mana, we can do everything. Is it a balanced Farewell? I think it's a buffed Farewell, and I'll tell you why. Because at any given moment, you only really need like 2 or 3 of these. So if you want all 4, it costs 7 mana. It's just 1 mana above Farewell. That's not very expensive. It's yeah, exactly. I think everyone would play this type of card. Goodbye is an attempt at fixing Farewell. I think it failed. I mean, I still think it's a play. I think it's a fine card. I don't think we have to weaken it. It's totally fine by itself. But I do believe that this is a strong Farewell. You have Farewell that can be played at 4 mana, 5 mana, 6 mana, which is same as Farewell, and then Farewell at 7 mana. Doesn't hit battles. Do you have like a play group where battles are like a big card type? I almost never play it. The only format I play against battles is Pioneer, because mono green actually plays a battle competitively. Yuriko, choose cards are very good because they are flexible. We love the flexibility. Farewell exiling on all mode was oppressive, though. Here you at least have some counterplay. Oh yeah, there's Destroy here. Farewell is like, oh yeah, this is really Farewell. Goodbye is temporary. We may meet again. Great art too. I like that. I run 1 battle in my Teysa Orzhov Scion deck. All right, we got everyone's coming. I've seen a battle played once. Battle is like such a crappy card type. Darn, I wish this hit battles. Wow. Okay, it's either people are. There's like one play group where it's like, battles are unplayable. They might play one. Then we have another play group. It's like, battles are broken. They're absolutely broken. Okay, do we have something? Does this hit a super chat? Oh, sorry, does it hit the bingo card? More than a 10/10 Reddit search. 5 words in card type. Yu-Gi-Oh card too much. It's not actually not too bad. It's actually, how bad is this? It could be worse. It could be a little bit worse. No one knows what this card does. You can't get rid of this card. I think it's perfectly fine. All right. With that, we gotta thank our sponsor today, FusionGamingOnline.com, my favorite place to buy my Magic the Gathering cards. This is where I get my singles, your sealed product. I need to pre-order my cards hot off the presses at FusionGamingOnline.com, and we're coming up to the holiday season. If you need to buy gifts for your other TCG friends, whether it be in Flesh and Blood, One Piece, Yu-Gi-Oh, Flesh and Blood, you can get them at FusionGamingOnline.com. And guess what? No matter what TCG, you can always use coupon code Nikachu at checkout to get 5% off all your purchases and support the channel. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. Digitally on Magic Online, you can play all formats. You can play Commander, Dual Commander. You can play Modern, Pioneer, Legacy. You ever wanted to play with Black Lotus and Vintage? That's why I play Vintage sometimes. You can do all of that when you're renting with Mana Traders. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_QTP. Get in on that discount code. They're changing their system at Mana Traders. Soon it's going to be a cash back offer, which is going to be interesting. Cash back. All right. It's time for the second half of the show, where we get through them super chats. All right, Winter Fox. We've got the Cybers Zone Set 3. What is this all about? Cybers Zone. I think I'm going to disperse it amongst all of you. I think we're going to go through 3 of these, and then I'm going to go through the last 2 later. So you'll notice that these lands are utility lands that do not have mana adding capabilities. They require Cybers programs to enchant the land and gain They require Cybers programs to enchant the land and gain and add a mana effect. The other abilities they have. All right, we'll take a look at it. Astra Logos Stargazer Tower. Is this like a city in the clouds? I can't remember. Was there something sticking up in the city in clouds in Star Wars? Couldn't remember. Pay to win half. Let's go. Yeah, it's basically it always was pay to win. Now it's more pay to win. Legendary Cyberverse land with the A upside down. Firewall 5. Remember, this is Ward N, but mana can be paid in a combination of blue and colorless. Cost substitution abilities and effects cannot be used to pay this cost. Okay. Oh yeah, so like no reduction can pay the cost. Double blue, tap. Search your library for a Cybers program, Cybers interrupt, or Cybers adjunct, then add it to your hand. This is a land that tutors, and it has like ward. This is insane. The only thing that makes this fair is that it actually doesn't even add mana by itself. Because I think that is just completely bonkers. Isn't it? Land that tutors cards. I mean, I understand it's localized. It would literally need to be the power of Homelands cards to make this fair, in my opinion. That ward might as well be hexproof. I know. Basically, if ward hits like 4 or higher, basically you can't touch it. Unless the card is uncounterable. Like Urza's Rage. Although Urza's Rage can't target this thing. A tutor that your opponents can't destroy because it's a land. That's right. Well, I mean, I guess you could strip mine it and then pay 5. And maybe at that point of the game, it's the most useful. It's Steve Cooper. Also, interrupts don't exist. They're instants. Yeah, it's strange that we're throwing in a callback over here. Funny enough. Costless cards with color should have color indicator next to the type. Why is a keyword used to define another keyword? Oh yeah, it's Firewall 5 then Ward. I know we talked about that last time. Isn't that it's like Ward but something extra. That's basically how it is. Honestly, I think this card's a bit broken. The tutor is just so ridiculously powerful. Just imagine that any other card like that in Magic the Gathering. The cost, I don't even know what the cost needs to be to make it fair. 6 or something? I guess it's a flavor win. Winter Fox is all about the vibes, really. This is a vibe series. if anything else. But if we talk about power level, I mean, the power level's off the charts on this damn thing. Okay, Resource Seeking City. This is, again, a Cyberland with Firewall 3. Now, pay a blue, tap, target Cyber's creature you control phases out. When target creature phases back in, you may discard one card from your hand, and if you do, add target Cyber's tool or Cyber's program from your graveyard to your hand. So you can protect your creature and also discard to basically recycle. It's like regrowth for a blue and one generic. This also is insane. Yes, flavor. Not for competitive powers. I somehow always make it either underpowered or overpowered. Yeah, I know, I can tell. We know your style, Winter Fox. It's all vibes. In this case, it's cyber vibes. This card is bussin'. It is really strong, but it's actually less strong than the first card by a huge mile. What makes this card great, though, is it's an incredible insurance for your own creatures. And again, so you can only protect the Cyber's creatures, which, by the way, might be all incredibly expensive. So being able to use this card on your creatures may not actually be that overpowered. It's still a really strong effect. It's like, okay, let's say we replace Cyber's creatures with Eldrazi. Would that be busted? Well, maybe it is now because there's so many there's like a ridiculous number of cheap Eldrazi's these days. Cyber's Mana Reactor Array for a colorless blue, one generic Cyber's program. It's got mana acceleration. For each blue and colorless you add from a land enchanted with this card, add one additional blue or colorless. What? For every blue or colorless you add from a land enchanted with this card, add one additional blue. Oh, I see. Okay, so it's like Utopia Sprawl. Enchant land. Enchanted land has pay one, tap, add blue or colorless. So it's a filter land if necessary. This is totally fine. Honestly, I think this card is not even that strong. This is I mean, maybe it makes sense. Like, if we have Utopia Sprawl in blue, I mean, it can't be 1 mana. It probably makes sense at 3 mana. Like, if Wizards was going to break that color pie, probably this is how it's designed in general. And it's at 3 mana. It might as well have been a mana rock of some sort. This set is creating super types that should be subtypes. It's not the first time. Is there 4? Do we need 5 cards in the thing? 5 words and is it 5 words and name? 1, 2, 3, 4. Did we break that? 3. No. If there was someone who would break that, that would definitely be Winter Fox. 5 words in card type? Did we get that there? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, only 4. I'm sure Toilet Duck is taking a look at all these cards. Okay, we're going to move on. I will check out your last 2 a smidge later. We're going to move on. So we just have it like basically sharing around here. The damn draws. In the thread, Monkey. The last 2 of the 3rd group. Okay, let's take a look. The last 2 in the 3rd group. Thank you for... Okay, so here's the... Where are we? Here's the 1st group, 2nd group, 3rd group, the last 2. Mana Ape Refractor. That's what you wanted here. Mana Ape Refractor and Tapestry of Apes. We have a 3 mana artifact. Mana Ape Refractor enters tapped. When Mana Ape Refractor enters, it gains a counter of all keywords of all apes and monkeys on the battlefield. I swear, they came out with that, what's it called? That mannequin or whatever from Duskmorn, and now everyone's coming out, oh, we can have all abilities. We're absorbing all abilities from all creatures and everything. Everyone needs a card like that. Okay, and then pay 3, tap, move a counter from Mana Ape Refractor to an ape or monkey creature you control. Here, it's dangerous to go alone. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this counter, effectively. Why does it have to enter tapped? Enters the battlefield. When it enters, it gains... Hold on, the artifact gains all counters. Move a counter from... It gains a counter of all... Oh, I see. This is like Agatha's Soul Cauldron of some sort. So we get the counter, and then we give it to something else. Oh, that is incredibly unique. We're seeing a lot of sequels here. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm thinking of Marvin. Like, Marvin, Murderous Mimic, before that card, nobody cared about, like, absorbing the abilities of all cards in play. After Marvin, it's like, everyone has this whole new idea about how making cards. Yeah, why not absorb all the abilities of all creatures in play? There's nothing wrong with that at all. Look, Wizards did it, so can I. Yeah, this distributes keyword count. Yeah, it distributes counters. So we take the power of all the keywords, put it in a counter, then we donate it to something else. Cool card, very cool. And balanced. I don't even honestly, yeah, it probably is balanced if you have to put it into play tapped. Tapestry of the Apes. Although, mind you, hold on, before we go further, you just play this with Voltaic Key or something. It's just untap it easily. Tapestry of the Apes. 4-mana artifact, pay 2, tap, draw a card. Activate only if you've cast an ape or monkey spell this turn. Activate only if cast... Oh, so it's... Like, I mean, this is fine. It's totally fine. Gibbon, gorilla, chimpanzee, bonobo, orangutan, kingdom lost to ape, but ape never forget. Ape stronger in numbers too. So the thing with this card, what's it called? It honestly doesn't look that good. Because, like, Wizards has made a lot of cards in the past. It's just like 4 mana, tap, draw a card. So I actually honestly think you could reduce the cost to like 2 just to cast it, and you can still have pay 2, tap to activate it. Because the thing is, in the grand scheme of things, it's going to be hard to cast an ape or monkey and activate this thing on the same turn. You probably could get away with this thing being 3 mana and it just taps. Like, I'm not 100% certain. 100% 4 mana and just tap if you played a monkey or ape would be fair. This was a Tapestry of the Ages, but for apes. Mana cost 2 and activate just by tapping. That's pushing it, but it could be. Definitely 3 mana would be fair. 4 mana, and this is very expensive. So this could totally be a whole lot cheaper. As it is, it's too fair. A little too fair, in my opinion. Yeah, this is like 6 mana plus monkey for 1 card. Yeah, plus you have to play a monkey to get a single card. Yeah, it's way overcosted. It could just be tapped since it's conditional. Oh, it's very conditional. Okay, but yeah, other than that, that's totally fine. Next up, let's take a look at We Done Need Badgers. Not burgers. Although someone could come up with a We Done Need Burgers name. We have Zarnok, the evil meat mage. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. The new villain commander. Okay, let's take a look at... I'm going to take a look at 2 of your cards, and I'll take a look at the other 2 afterwards. The meat commander! I love it. Throwing meat. It's not meatballs, it's meat cubes around here. Okay, we have a green, blue, black, 2 generic, 4/4 food wizard. So, you know, Yagra is just salivating looking at this card. Absolutely salivating at the chops. And maybe Zarnok is salivating at Yagra at the same time. Okay, 2 mana, tap. Target creature loses all abilities and becomes a 0/2 food creature with defender. And pay 2, tap. Sacrifice this creature. You gain 3 life. What? Okay, so it's basically removal. Then for a blue, tap. Gain control of target food. Can we untransform it? Then for a green, sacrifice a food, untap, Zarnok, draw a card. Ooh. So we can tap food, then it doesn't make food by itself. It turns other things into food. Bingo alert, 5 cards in name. 5 cards in name. 5 words. There we go. 5 words in name. Beautiful. We're on our way. The evil meat mage. Not to be mistaken with the friendly meat mage. SpongeBob and Lord Zed. SpongeBob without the spongy skin on him. Is this inspired by Oko in some way? It's got some Oko. Honestly, I didn't think about that. This does have Oko vibes because Oko turned things into elks, also made food, and also could grab things and swipe them. You can cross. Nikachu can't read too. What did I not read here? Did I misread something? What did I not read for Ginka? I need facts around here. Meat Cube is lamenting everything. Damn, 5 cards. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, I misspoke. That's a dyslexia thing. That doesn't count around here. This is probably my first live here. Welcome, Hinoko Nakamura. The same last name as the Hikaru Nakamura. Powerful, powerful chess player. Cool card. Come take a seat, and you're in for a treat. I'll turn you to cubes of savory meat. Amazing, amazing flavor text as well. Okay, we got next. We got Glizz. Is this a Glizzy? Glizz Blade. I'm learning. It is a Glizzy. It's a Glizzy. Does anyone know what a Glizzy is? It's a hot dog. I'm learning Gen Alpha and Zoomer slang. Okay, we got a black one generic instant food. Food. I didn't know food can be kindred. Destroy target non-food creature. With a Glizzy? Create a food token. Oh, so we blow. You know what? I always thought this is exactly how a lot of cards should work. Like, if you literally didn't nuclear destroy a creature where their bones vaporize and the blood is splattered all over the forest, there's technically a carcass out there. And that carcass, what is it, laid to waste? No, it's food. You can eat that thing. If you kill a human being, like if an elf eats a human, that's not cannibalism, okay? That's a different species as far as I understand. Nice to meet you. It's great. That's how hot dogs get made. I suppose so. Oh, God. I don't want to think about that. Human harvesting just to get our hot dogs. It's cheaper. It's cheaper these days to eat people otherwise. I think this is a banger card. These are really creative, too. Okay. I'll look at the last 2 of yours later. We're going to move on to... I forgot how to pronounce your name. We got Planeswalk Guide and Form of Ristic Study. Well, so happy birthday. Thank you so much. The Planeswalk Guide. Oh, we nail! Waifu card. That's definitely a waifu card. Our first waifu of today. Is a white 1/2 human scout with Planeswalk. Not many Planeswalk cards out there. White 1 generic. Target Planeswalker, if we know what we're talking about here. Becomes a 1/1 creature, loses all abilities, and gains Planeswalk. It's very funny. So we're basically demoting a Planeswalker to also a Planeswalker, but a way weaker card in general, because when they're a Planeswalker, they're all-powerful wizard. I am a wizard. And now they're a pathetic human. And let's not forget, every Planeswalk creature is garbage. I mean, they're terrible. Phyrexians would make oil counters instead of food. Well, that's the yeah, that's the theme. They like their oil, don't they? Planeswalking seems so much less stressful than Planeswalking. Yeah, white mage approved. I'll teach you to walk the right way. Well, I actually think this is a cool card. I don't know how flavorful it is that this feels like a very blue ability to transform a card into another one. This doesn't seem like a white thing, but it's adjacent to blue, so I guess it's okay. And now also you have a second card. You've got a Form of Ristic Study. Oh God, what is this going to be? Form of Ristic Study. Oh, we got a blue 2 generic enchantment. Creatures can't attack you. You have Shroud. This sounds broken already. You can't cast spells. Oh, okay. I judged it too soon. I'm sorry. First 2 abilities were insane. And then whenever an opponent casts a spell, another target opponent may draw a card unless any opponent pays 1. So whenever an opponent casts a spell, another target opponent. Who chooses the target? Us? Unless any opponent. So basically, you cast a spell, I can have somebody else. We cannot draw cards around here. Creatures can. It's super group hug. Okay, so no one can attack us. We have Shroud, but the card itself doesn't have Shroud. But we can't cast spells. We just watch the chaos. We done need Badgers. 100% love this. Heck, Plains. Oh, you mean the last card? It feels like Path to Exile, but the Planeswalker is just retiring to the prairie. Absolutely. Oh my god. Pay 1 power creep. That's right. Cast to lose the game, but being annoying for forever. I mean, not necessarily. You know, doesn't a lot of you play out games where you're so far behind on the table, but that's why no one attacks you, because like, what's the point? There's a certain power dynamic where if 2 or 3 people around you are building up like big boards, it's almost a cost for them to come and try to kill you, because then they open themselves up to the other 2 players at the table. So they're the menacing ones. They are the ones that have to keep each other in check. And actually, they don't want to even touch you because, like, what's the point? There's actually a risk to attacking you. I am just a spectator. You do you. Exactly. Exactly. Lands aren't spells. Yeah, you can keep playing lands. Oh, yeah, this could be put in a lands deck. That's right. You could put this in a lands deck, a lands matters deck. So who's going to pay that 1? That's right. Who is? Anyone want to pay that 1? Or who wants to draw that card? It's a perfect flavor text. I love it. I think this card is great. Okay, next up, we got Morbid Panda with Ravenclaw set part 6. New zombie mechanic, plus first card is a rebalance from the last time I super chatted. Okay, cool. Okay, let's look at Raven. Hold on, it's Raven Loft. I think of, what's it called? When I'm reading this, I'm thinking of Tomb Raider for some reason. Ravenloft. Is it because her name was Ravenclaw? Ravencroft? So I didn't have a PlayStation. Never played Tomb Raider. Honestly, looked like a boring game to me. Looked also, from my perspective, looked really hard to control. I'm too used to first-person shooters. Lara Croft. That's what I was. Yeah. I should probably watch the movie. All right. First up. So how did you want part 6? New zombie mechanic plus for the first card is a rebalance. Okay, so you just rebalance this first one. Was it broken last time? Loyalist of Ramya is a black 2 generic 2/2 human knight with menace and death touch. When it enters, target player draws a card and loses 1 life. Also for a black 1 generic, return Loyalist of Ramya from the graveyard to the battlefield. Activate only if Loyalist of Ramya was sacrificed this turn. The hell? Okay, so enters the battlefield, target player draws a card. So that could be you. And we pay 2 to return it from the graveyard to the battlefield. And activate only if Loyalist was sacrificed this turn. Oh yeah, this is totally fair. I have no idea what this used to look like, but this is completely fair. So basically, you're going to sacrifice this card. Pay 2 mana to draw a card. It's almost like a cycle. Does it enter the battlefield? No, it does not enter the battlefield tap, but I think this is infinitely more fair and can only do this once. Only if it was sacrificed this. Oh no, you could do this infinite times. I can't tell if this is broken or not. It used to be able. So we buffed it up. Is that what we did? We're buffing it up. Protection from well, basically. We can sacrifice it myself. Alex also says Tomb Raider is fun, but not a must-play. It was probably cool at the time, you know. Good. It was the graphics on the PlayStation. It was amazing for its time. Yeah, if you have an altar, you can do stuff, but you do need the black mana, right? So you can't just work off of just colorless mana. I want to say there's a way to go infinite with this, but you will be paying 1 life each time. So it's like almost like a necropotence type of effect. To be fair, there's a lot better alter combo cards. That's where I'm getting at as well. There's if you can set that up, then it's probably just as fair as all the other ones. All right, next up we've got the Undead Ambusher. Is a black 2 generic zombie assassin. It's a 1/4 creature. It's got Death Touch and Necrosis for a black 1 generic. Sacrifice an unblocked non-zombie creature you control. So I attacked. It wasn't a zombie. Return this card from the graveyard to the battlefield, tapped and attacking. So we're doing a switcheroo. Oh, is it the idea the thing died, and this is the thing that actually died, but it's back? When Undead Ambusher deals combat damage to a player, creatures that player controls get -X/-X. Until end of turn, where X is Undead Ambusher's power. That's a cool ability. So basically, if it gets in... is this like ninjutsu? I just didn't read this correctly. Sacrifice an unblocked non-zombie. Return this card from the graveyard. Oh, it is! Tapped and attacking. It's literally ninjutsu from the graveyard. That's a very cool original idea. Especially since you can see it coming. So there's actually more ways, like with ninjutsu, that's really hard to interact with. Like, because you don't know which card, you don't know which of these cards in my hand have ninjutsu, or if I have it at all. But if you can see the Undead Ambusher in the graveyard, you know it's there. So in response to the attack, you have some opportunity to exile that type of card from the graveyard. And I don't think it's actually that completely overwhelming at the same time. Yeah, ninjutsu from the graveyard, yeah, but unlike ninjutsu, you can never surprise them with it. That's right, they see it coming. They know, they see your dirty tricks. Very cool card. Wizards, I think you should steal this one. I think you should steal this one. That is such a cool idea. Reaper of the Living. This is a black 3 generic 4/4 zombie knight with necrosis, black 1 generic. So that's the ninjutsu. Menace. When we should just call it Dead Ninjutsu. That would make it easier to remember. Menace. When Reaper of the Living deals combat damage to a player, destroy target creature that player controls. Yeah, that's pretty cool. This is good. And also, it actually opens up the discard outlets for cards like this. So, you know, draw 2 cards. You want to discard these cards, so there's more function to those cards in the future. Wizard Coast would never steal ideas, right? Oh, yeah, never. They've never stolen anything from anybody. Not that they'd like to admit, that's for sure. Yeah, helps sacrifice matters decks. I think it helps a lot. I think it opens up a huge range of innovation to the game, while also being just easy to counter. You just need graveyard hate for crying out loud. That's it. That's all you would need. Call that Edo Tensei. Okay. Okay, we're going to look at the last 2 later. We're going to move on to Nova the Space Wolf. Thank you very much, Nova. Lux the Unseen Knight. Lux the Unseen. We have 3 cards here. Perfect. We've got Lux. Oh, it's a double-sided card. You have... Okay, Lux the Unseen Knight. We're going to have to move some stuff over. So we have white, 2 generic for a legendary creature. The Human Demacian Wizard. It's a 3/5 creature. Now, enters the battlefield with a shield counter on it. So you come attack me. It's going to get... we're going to counter it. No touchies around here. If an instant or sorcery with mana value of 6+ is cast while Lux, the Unseen Light, is on the battlefield, then transform Lux into transform Lux. And also we create a token artifact called Final Spark if you don't already have one. Okay, so we have to look at the Final Spark. Lux, the Lady of Luminosity, a 4/6 human Demacian wizard. When Lux, the Lady of the Luminosity, enters the battlefield or is transformed, place a shield counter on Lux. So we might have 2 shield counters on this thing at this point, right? If a card transforms, it keeps the counters, correct? I don't see why I would lose them. Then we have... if an instant or sorcery you control with mana value 6+ is cast while Lux, the Unseen Light, is on the battlefield, create a token artifact called Final Spark if you don't already have one. So we get another one. If an instant or sorcery. So we keep getting these sparks on the battlefield. Create a token. Okay, so what's this token? The final spark. And it might be the last, but we burn bright around here. Token artifact. Tap. Sacrifice final spark. You know what's funny? It's not really the final one, right? We made one when we transformed. We can make another one later. Bingo alert. 5+ in card type. Oh, did we hit that over here? We did! We did hit 5+ in card type. 5+ words in card type. I'll get the other side of this thing back. Hold on. Can everyone see this? Yeah, everyone can. But they can still see it like this too. Tap sacrifice final spark to deal 4 damage. Sorry, to deal 4 to a target creature. We should probably say 4 damage. Missing a few words over there. 4 to a target creature. Activate only as a sorcery. If this ability would deal enough damage to a creature to destroy it, you may have it assign the rest of its damage to that creature's controller. So basically it has damage trample. I have no problem with this mechanic at all. I will say though, yeah, it's just a flavor fail. It's called the final spark, but then there's another spark after that. This should have been called, the first one should have been the second final spark, and then it created the actual final spark. Is a Runeterra card equal Yu-Gi-Oh card? No, it's not there yet. It's not what qualifies as a Yu-Gi-Oh card. When the font is really, when I have to like get really close to read the damn thing, that's basically when it's Yu-Gi-Oh card approved. Jin would approve. Is this a Runeterra thing? Anyway, okay, moving on. We've got the damn draws surrounded. Surrounded by a-holes. I love it. We got a Spaceballs reference here. White, white, white. Enchantment. Why would this be a white card? During your upkeep, if you control... Well, I guess it's like law that, you know, the Empire is all about like this sort of law and order, right? During your upkeep, if you control a non-token, non-legendary soldier creature with power 2 or less, create a copy of that creature. Oh my, this is perfect. Absolute banger. I knew it! I'm surrounded by assholes. Dark Helmet. Dark Helmet said so. What about that guy? Asshole too, sir. First rank. His whole family are assholes. I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes. How many assholes around here? Yo! Keep firing, assholes! I'll lose marginal amounts of ad revenue thanks to this card, but you know what? It's worth it. Yeah, everyone's showing their support for Spaceballs. Man, it was so good. It was so... I don't know if this would stand the test of time if I watched it today. I just remember when I was a kid, I almost pissed myself watching this entire movie. I don't know, do they make movies like this anymore that are just so unbelievably over the top stupid? But I don't know, they knew their market back then. I don't know if I don't know if they would ever try that now. Plays I don't know, is Mel Gibson still alive? I really want that sequel. I know a lot of the actors in that show were dead, but I desperately need that sequel. Okay, next up. 4 Paths of Life. Paradox World Part 3A. You got a lot of them. Paradox World Part 3A. All right, we've got red 1 generic for a Plasmic Dragonkin. It's a 2/2 Paradox Shapeshifter. First strike Changeling. With Doppelgang, pay 2, tap. Target a differently named creature. Plasmic Dragonkin becomes a copy of that creature, except with both creature types and abilities. Also, it gets the same number and kinds of counters currently on that creature. Yeah, I've got to reread this. First, like, it's a Changeling, Paradox Shapeshifter. Put a target. Okay, tap, 2 tap. Target a differently named creature. Plasmic Dragonkin becomes a copy of that creature, except with both creature types. What does that mean? Okay, so what, we keep our stuff and we're retaining, we're copying theirs? That's, I'm assuming, what it means. Also, it gets the same numbering kinds of counters currently on that creature. What is with you guys trying to copy the counters on someone else's creatures? Yeah, you just have counter envy or something? Wow, I wish I had as many big counters like that person's card. Did we have this is a bingo alert? New creature type, the Paradox? The Paradox creature. Is there a new creature type here? Creature type, creature type, creature type. Super type. Oh, new creature type! Well, we're almost... Where's Majra? Oh, Majra must have bad internet today. Majra would be here every single day. Otherwise, the Majra series... You know, Majra not being here actually screws this up. That makes the bingos infinitely more difficult because Majra is dead in the middle here. Maja's internet is wacky. Sometimes internet is good. He's here. Sometimes not so good. Not here. Okay, anyway. The free space depends on Madra's presence. Madra finished the Sapta cigars? Yeah, finished the Sapta cigars. Okay, other than that, I think, like, this card's totally fine. Like, I don't think there's anything broken about this. I also have no problem with copying the cards. Oh, you're being a little cheatsy here. Okay, I'm just warning you. Usually this double-sided cards are basically 2 cards in one. I would give some leniency if there's, like, not so many words on it, but, like, of course, all of you like to jam-pack the card full of words. Okay, we got spinning compass with question mark. Is it spinning? Maybe the universe is spinning around it. Okay, we got a 3-mana sorcery, scry 2, then draw 1 card. If you control a creature with changeling, draw 1 additional card. After resolving spinning compass question mark, place it transformed on the battlefield tapped. Is this any different from, like, a card, like, it could just be an artifact? Oh, I guess the problem is squeezing all the words on here. I would be like, can't the Paradox basically be a card that when you cast it, you get all those abilities? But then you'd have no room. Yeah, maybe we are the compass. Schrodinger's compass. It points north, but only when you aren't looking. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, Paradox equipment. Whenever a creature you control is targeted by an opponent's spell or ability, you may change that target to another creature with the same name. Resolve that spell or ability as if you control the new target. Whenever a creature you control is targeted by an opponent's spell. So basically, we just change. So you, like, don't target my stuff because I'm just going to retarget it to something else for free. This is 3 mana. This is better than Hexproof. That actually, this card might be broken. Oh, it's an equipment. But it looks like it just has the static ability for everything in play. Equip for 2. Tap, destroy equipped creature. If you do, add to your mana pool the same number and colors of mana in that creature's mana cost. I think the card's broken. It's just basically 3 mana. Like, who cares about... I don't even care about this front side anymore. It's just like, it's 3 mana. Your creatures are invincible. Alex says, double-face cards are just an attempt to get rid of the transparent sleeves. So people are forced to buy more expensive ones. Oh, yeah, it's a conspiracy. Yeah, Big Sleeve are pushing double-sided cards. Yeah, I think the card's broken. So it needs to be something like, whenever a creature you control is targeted by an opponent's spell or ability, you pay some amount of mana, like 3 or 4 or 5 mana or something. And then you may change that target to another creature with the same name, resolve that spell or ability. I mean, I understand it has to be something with the same name. You could just put some garbage out, right? Oh, it has to be the same name? Hold on. That might be more complicated than I think. To copies. Maybe you guys are right. Maybe I'm being a little too harsh over here. Maybe the challenge of making a bunch of copies is actually worth it. All right, you know what? You know what that means? Nikachu can't read cards. Yeah, I missed that part. Oops, where are we here? Oh, I shifted this thing. Okay, other than that, I think this card actually is fine. It's gonna be a pass from me. I guess you really need this in a what's it called? Multi-cloning deck. For you, and you and your enemy need to have a creature with the same name out, or you just clone the crap out of that thing. You just clone it like crazy. Okay, so that was from okay, yeah, this was, thank you very much for the card. Okay, we're gonna go to Nova the Space Wolf with Karma the Enlightened One. You have a lot of Karma cards. Isn't Karma like literally a card though? Karma noun. Oops. Hold on. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna look up Karma the Enlightened One. There we go. Thank you so much. Karma. Ooh, I love cards. I love cards heavy on blue. You know, I don't know. That's just my thing. That's my jam. We got blue, 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 2 generic for a human Ionian Mystic. That also hits 5. It's a 4/3. At the end of your turn, search your library for an instant or sorcery, reveal it, and add it to your hand, then shuffle. What the hell? What is this? There is a card called Karma, white, 2 generic enchantment. Oh, you know all about it, Duke Firebird. You might even play Karma, don't you? Nikachu, a pesky blue mage. Oh, I'm the most pesky. I turn your creatures into nothing. I counter your spells. I'm the most annoying of all the blue mages. And then I beat you with Merfolk, which adds, you know, definitely damages people's ego. When you become enlightened, transform Karma. The first time you cast a spell with a mana value of 10+, you become enlightened for the rest of the game. This card is busted because it's like 5 mana for a decently large creature, and you basically tutor something at the end of every turn. So it's not guaranteed you get value, but it's pretty likely. Like, I think it's pretty likely. So that part, I don't know. So what do we get? So if we need to cast a spell with mana value 10 or greater. This is hard. Is it total mana? First time you cast a spell with a mana value, no, it's just once. So we need to cast like an Eldrazi. We get Karma the Enlightened One. So what do we have to cast here? Eldrazi, Omniscience, a bunch of other stuff. We get a 5/4 human Ionian Mystic. At the end of your turn, search your library for an instant or sorcery, reveal it and add it to your hand, then shuffle your library. When you cast an instant or sorcery, copy it, targeting the same targets. Now, the second half is fair. The second half is fair because, like, you have to cast a 10 mana spell the first time around. I think this is a lot. Like, you know, achievement unlocked, so to say. I don't know about this first side. I don't know. What does everyone think about this first side? I think it's absolutely I wouldn't say it's pushed. Wouldn't say it's broken. Not sure how it wins the game. Well, it won't win the game. It's just good value. Maybe it needs to be worded at the beginning of your upkeep. Search your library for an instant or sorcery card. That way you give the whole table the ability to kill it before your next turn, before you start getting like if you get an instant or sorcery every single turn, in theory, like let's say I play this plus Time Walk, then I just keep looking for extra turn spells for the rest of the game and perhaps win that way. Would it make 6 mana maybe? I don't know. I would say the first half should be a one-time search and the back half stay the same. Okay, you know what? I could get behind that. I could get behind that. So as is, I think it's a little too strong. It's the end of your turn, so you're probably tapped out most of the time. You're a blue deck! Yeah, oh yeah, we're tapped out. Then we play the Force of Will. We play the Flare of the Nile. We have got Pact of Negation, Daze, Thwart, Foil. We got it all, okay? In fact, we're looking for those cards. End of turn, get that Force of Will. Then next turn, get the Foil. You'll never get rid of my Karma. Karma on you. Oh yeah, also a card called Karma is illegal. You can't have that because there actually is a card called Karma. Mr. Fellblood is like, how the heck did I get unsubscribed? Get your act together, YouTube. YouTube sometimes just randomly unsubscribes people. Oh, you know what? There's also another thing. Sometimes you can accidentally unsubscribe from YouTube channels because like the subscribe button is like really close to like the likes and stuff like that. So you can accidentally unsub even when you didn't mean to. Nikachu, you'd be surprised. Most commander players only cast spells during their main phase. You know, I don't blame you. Okay, so I think the card is supremely strong. It needs to be powered down. That being said, I would play this card in all my commander decks. All right, so I mean, if this actually passed, is this? Oh, this thing's a little off. Is it centered now? Okay, it's centered. Okay, next up, let's take a look at Carbonic with Dinha, the Prophet, True Balance, and True Balance. I'm assuming Dinha. Hopefully that's good enough. Oh, could not find it. Dinha Alcott. Oh, it was called Diana. And then True Balance. Take a look at this one. It's a white, legendary creature, parahuman. What the hell does that mean? It's like, what is it? Sort of human, but not exactly human. Word 3. All players play with their hands revealed. Chaos! Chaos ensues. Pay 1. Look at the top card of target player's deck. Any player may activate this ability. Pay 1. Okay, everything's revealed. It's no hidden information around here. This is crazy. All players can cast non-creature spells from other players' hands as if they were in their own hand. How the hell does this work? So basically, every single time you pass priority, you can just steal somebody's card. So every single time you have priority, it's like, okay, you use it or lose it, because then the moment you pass priority, someone else is going to get it. This card is absolutely insane. I like it, though. I think it's absolutely crazy. Yeah, everything is everyone's all the time. Chaos ensues for bingo. I will call I will give this to a Yu-Gi-Oh card, though. There's a lot of text, and it's a very small font. I'll give the Yu-Gi-Oh one. Another haste plus menace. We don't have a haste menace yet. Whoops. Play this on a shit deck that only dedicated to protect this and ruins your opponents. Yeah, it's our hand. It's like, not your hand, our hand, comrade. Let's see that hand, comrade. Let's look at that deck, comrade. This is some Mario Party level nonsense. I think I like this card. It's pretty cool. The only I think the Ward 3, all players play with their hands revealed and pay 1, look at the top card. I think Wizards would be fine with all of that. I think the part that Wizards wouldn't like is the all players can cast non-creature spells from other players' hands as if they were in their own hand. I think that would create a little bit of, I think that'd be a little too chaotic, especially since the way priority works. Because basically anyone can play anything from somebody's hand. Maybe it could be worded just to be more friendly with the rules. Like someone, I don't know how it works, how I would make it work. Yeah, basically, Mr. Fellblood, suddenly priority rules become your new god, essentially. Whoever has priority is a god. And also holding priority would be really incredibly important. So anyway, that is a very, very, very cool card. Now, you had another card, Carbonic. You had True Balance. Just like that last card, right? It was truly balanced. Oh, that was definitely, if that last card wasn't Yu-Gi-Oh like, that one definitely was. So black, 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 white, white, white for True Balance, sorcery. Pay 7 for flashback. It's probably better off to get this in the graveyard and then cast it from there. Whichever player has more lands must sacrifice lands until their land count is the same as the player with the lowest land count. So just balance. Then do the same for creatures, enchantments, artifacts, cards in hand, and old cards and libraries. Oh, and also it counts libraries. But you can't sacrifice cards in libraries. If a library has more cards than the player with the smallest library, then exile cards from the top of it until they have the same amount of cards. You would end the sentence here at cards in hand, and then you would just have, because you can't sacrifice library, so you just have the second sentence. Then do the same. Do the same for you. You have here, if a library has more cards than the player with the smallest library, then everyone exiles cards to the bottom. True balance is hard to maintain. I don't even know if it has to be that expensive, to be honest. I think this could be probably a 4-mana card. 6 mana is probably overdoing it here. The Thanos card, that's right. Everything's balanced, as all things. It should probably have Thanos in the picture here. I sacrifice my library. If only we could pay with our library. Yeah, so literally trim everything to be equal on both sides. Well, I don't know about that. You know, things can be equal in number, but not in quality. You know what I mean? All right, next we have... Damn it, I forgot how to pronounce your name. Skybreaker and Vexing Sorceress. Look at Skybreaker. This is 2 words, apparently. Skybreaker! Blue 3 generic, 3/3 angel. Are there any blue angels? I want to say this looks very unusual. It's got flying, flying, and flying. That makes no sense. Did you make this card, or was this AI generated swap? Okay, creatures. This is AI. It's like an AI generated card that wasn't proofread when it got to this show. Yeah, triple flying. It flies above the flyers. They even fly above the flyers. Is this a color pie violation? Like, I don't know why there shouldn't be blue angels, but at the same time, I've never seen it. Creatures with flying cannot be blocked by creatures with fewer instances of flying. Okay, creatures with flying cannot be blocked. Okay, so flying, flying, flying actually matters. It's like if you fly, you can fly faster than someone else. Yeah, definitely votes for flying. Doing their voting. Make sure you vote, everyone. Pay 1. Put a flying counter on target creature. Any player may activate this ability. Get high. Get high or get shot or something. It looks like it's just going to produce chaos. It's like you are unblockable for as long as you have more flying counters than somebody else. So if I got 20 flying counters, you can't block me. Double flying AI cards now have use. It should just say really comes into play with 3 flying counters on it, because that's what we're and it should just say creatures with flying cannot be blocked by creatures with fewer instances of flying counters. Or I really don't know how to word it. So it's suddenly a height contest? That's right. Who can fly higher? Who can hold their breath when you reach outer space? Air gets really thin up there. But for an angel, it probably shouldn't matter. Aren't they, like, effectively gods? You can gain flying by other means than counters. Yeah, but you can only gain 1. That's it. Like, no other instance of flying stacks. This is the only one. And there are other cards that add flying counters. Like, flying counter is not a real thing. Yeah, poor reach. Hold on, doesn't the reach creature still block anything, no matter the instances of flying? Creature with flying cannot be blocked by creature with fewer instances of flying. I think the reach creatures dominate here. It's basically no matter how high you fly, the spider still weaves its webs to the moon, effectively. Question is, creatures with reach can block double flying creatures? As far as I can tell, reach blocks everybody. Thank you very much. All right, reach is broken. I think the design is really cool. I want to say it's supposed to be reworded somehow, though. Oh, there is a blue angel. Escobar. There does exist a blue angel. The illusory angel. We gotta look at this. It exists. Is it the only one? Blue 2 generic 4/4. Oh, it's an illusion though. It's like it's sort of cheating. Flying. Cast illusory angel only if you've cast another spell this turn. So you played a spell, we can create the illusion of an angel, but not it's probably not angel in blood. Design's cool, feels too AI generated though. That's right. That's why I'm saying like it should just count like the counters. You know, it could have flying plus like comes into play with a flying counter, and then the creature with the most flying counters like basically can't be blocked. I mean, I think this is worded fine. Put a flying counter on target creature. Any player may activate this ability, and then the creatures with flying cannot be blocked by creatures with fewer, or creatures with flying cannot be blocked. Or I should say creatures with flying counters cannot be blocked by creatures with fewer instances of flying counters. Okay, and then we've got the Vexing Sorceress. How many of you call things vexing? We can always depend on some of you for the waifu cards. I'll tell you that right now. Okay, blue 2 generic. We got a 1/3 human wizard. Tap, add 0. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 2. Okay, so it's why are we adding 0? That seems completely redundant. Okay, I'll read on. Tap, add 0. Return target permanent to its owner's hand unless its controller pays 2. Tap, add 0. Draw a card unless a player pays 2. There's no point. Hey, Tiger. It says split second is for amateurs. There's no point to adding 0 mana. It's just completely redundant. Unless that's like, is that a flavor win? Is that like, what's it called? Is it for vibes? There is a point? I don't get it. Oh, these mana abilities? We are literally adding nothing. Someone was selling nothing on eBay once. It cost, well, it cost you money, but they were like very explicit. We will be shipping, the shipping for nothing is going to be nothing because it costs nothing to ship nothing. Does it count as a mana? Oh, just bypass split, add 0 to bypass split second. Does that make sense? It would count as a mana ability, I guess. You add 0, but you added something. The add 0 is intended to vex people reading the card, hence the name. Mana abilities can't be responded to. Oh, then in that case, it's completely... Well, then what's the point of the paying 2 part? So pay, add 0, counter target spell. So it just goes through. Or this thing completely resolves. Okay, they're technically mana abilities which have exceptions carved out for them. Oh, so okay, hold on. I want to say, hold on, no, okay, so this will go on the stack anyway. It's just that, I don't get it. Is it going on the stack? It just instantly resolves? So that's like, what's the point of giving them the option to pay 2? Like, I don't get that part. One part of this thing is broken. Split second is for amateurs, and it's like, it's basically, so the way I'm reading this, it's basically 3 mana for a creature that can tap, counter anything, bounce anything, and then draw a card. I vote that this card is illegal. I also vote that it's illegal. I want to say this card doesn't work. I will say if you remove the add 0, I mean, it's a lot more interesting. Aren't there counter spells with like, unless they pay X? Yeah, but they go on the stack. Nova the Space Wolf says, I just want to make sure I've done 2 double-sided and 1 single-sided card. Am I done for the night? Nova... Yeah, you did. Yeah, you got your card. That's right. Oh, no. You got what? You can have 2 more cards. I've done 2. Oh, sorry, you did 2 double-sided and 1 single. Yeah, you are done. That's sorry. You got 5. You got your 5 cards. Wait till you'll be back next week. You're all going to be back next week. You're around every single week. Oh, well, the joke is a lot. Yeah, well, I mean, we still got to rate this on being a real Magic card. It's at the end of the day, we're rating custom Magic the Gathering cards here. We're trying to conceive how this card really works in reality, one way or another. Okay, it's a very interesting card nonetheless. Okay, next up, we've got We Done Need Badgers with Riz Blade. Oh my god. That's right. Our blades need Riz because someone in chat asked for it. We need a Riz Blade around here. Is a black, blue, blue, 3 generic sorcery. Oh, I thought it was going to be like an equipment. If you cast Riz Blade from your hand, the next time target creature would die this turn, gain control of it instead. So the next time target creature would die, gain control. That makes some still destroy target creature. Okay, so we destroy the creature and then we gain control of it. I would think that Riz, we don't have to blow the creature up. We just have to like target it and then we get it. As far as I'm concerned, every take control of target creature card is a Riz card, effectively. That's right. That's some skibbity toilet Riz that we'd only see in Ohio. Yeah, where's the blade part of this thing? So with a wink and a grin, I'll steal your date. Watch her run off. Guess I'm just too great. Grizzle, the Chad Goblin, on that mewing streak for 20 years. You have no chance with the Riz, with the Chad Goblin in town. Can you sacrifice in response? Absolutely. Then it would fizzle. You still have to destroy the creature. This is a more permanent steal. Wait, there's a lot of cards that are like you just gain control of target permanent. You ever heard of thieving? What's it called? Blatant thievery. It's a mind control, but worse because can trigger effect on destroyed creatures. Okay. I mean, hey, it's totally legal. I think it's overcosted, to be honest. At paying 2 colors at 6 mana. You need that skibbity Riz to impress people these days. Has anyone got a date off of skibbity Riz? I have a feeling no, but like maybe it's possible. I just don't know how it works these days. Michael! Nikachu, can you do 4 cards of mine? Justice League Series Part 1, because I love mixing hobbies. Everyone loves mixing hobbies around here. So we'll look at 2 and we'll look at 2 later. Justice League Series Part 1. All right, let's take a look at the first 2 here. We've got Barry Allen, fastest man alive. The red 2/2 meta-human. We got Flash, First Strike, Haste, and Split Second. No one likes the stack. It's basically, anyone who puts Split Second on their card, it's like, screw your counter spells. F them. When you cast Barry Allen, fastest man alive, you may pay any amount of energy. If you do, Barry Allen, fastest man alive, enters with that many +1/+1 counters on it. It's interesting, actually. This is an energy card that actually doesn't produce energy by itself. It's fitting for the Speed Force, though. Oh, yeah, it's actually... I mean, this is the Flash, right? This is like... I didn't know the Flash was named Barry Allen. So when Barry Allen, fastest man alive, enters, it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. Does it really fight? Does it actually, like, isn't like the Flash, it just like gets in his punch and then he runs away? In the world, like, just as the Matrix proved, the fastest person is the most powerful person. Barry Allen could totally produce energy. Yeah, if you're fast enough, running on a treadmill should produce something. Algot says, keyword counters are defined by rule 1221B, which is too long for me to post. What are you on about? You talking about a card from 20 minutes ago? Yeah, and only has First Strike. If I understand correctly, First Strike doesn't matter in fights. It's not like a mini combat. They just exchange damage. This is totally legal. This is totally fine. I don't think there's anything broken about this card at all. If anything, I want to buff it up somehow. I don't know what to do, though. There's a battlefield. It fights up to it. So you can choose it to fight nothing. So basically, you're only going to pick a fight with, like a 1/2 creature or something. Oh, but the deal is, if you have more energy, you can, like, buff this thing up, and then it can fight a bigger creature afterwards. Fight is a dumb mechanic. I agree! It's really weird. It's even weird to have it on a red card. Should have, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I should have triple strike. It was me, Barry. I used an activated ability that was also a mana ability. Okay, this card is cool. Great stuff. We got, oh, this is the whole Marvel. You know, we're just going to Marvel soon. We're going to have a bunch of Marvel cards in reality. Let's see who actually prints the cards the same as Wizards of the Coast. Cal of House EI. Huh? I don't get it. Because Superman, is this Superman or some like Superman's brother or something? Was this DC? Oh, you're right. Yeah. Batman is DC. Okay, I got everything else screwed up. Actually, I didn't know, to be honest, I didn't know where the Flash came from. So that's the confusing part. I 100% knew Batman, and then I just brain farted on Superman. This is also DC. That's why they had Batman versus Superman, but they didn't have Batman versus Spider-Man. Okay, flying, vigilance, haste, indestructible. Because I thought he was Clark Kent. Why is it called Cal of House EI? So, EL, pronounced like the L that one might take. Oh, taking an L. House of L. Okay, indestructible, makes all sense. Tap, if one or more other creatures you control would be dealt damage, prevent that damage and deal that much damage to Cal of House L instead. Do we have a bingo? Oh, we got bingo! I totally forgot about our bingo card. We got a 10-10. Boom. We haven't had to search the right. You can get rid of this card. You can't get rid of this card. We actually can get rid of this card. 15 plus mana. Just double checking if there's anything we missed. Oops. If one or more other creatures you control would be dealt damage, prevent that damage and deal that much damage to Cal of House L. Basically, you have to exile this damn thing. Fortunately, it does not have hexproof. His kryptonite home planet is named Cal L. Cal of House L. Why aren't we just calling this thing Superman? That's the most confusing. This is my greatest criticism of this card. It's a legendary creature, Kryptonian. That's so weird. That's so weird. So, is there kryptonite on his home? And what, they have no power on his home, but outside of his home, he's like completely super powered. I don't know any lore to Superman except he's really fast and is only weak to kryptonite. I guess there's a ton of stuff out there. New type? Yeah, it's a new type, but we already hit that thing. Everyone else is naming their Superman custom cards Superman. Oh yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, you can name the title something else, you know? Or you could be Superman of House L. And so on. Like, there's a million Jaces out there. Yes, Krypton is made of kryptonite. That sucks. Oh yeah, I totally forgot about the laser eyes. I know his name is Clark Kent. Just goes to show how much lore I know. Yes, you got that pretty much exactly right. Don't ask Nikachu, you'll go into a rabbit hole too deep of lore. To be honest, Superman never did it for me. Like, I love Batman. I think maybe that's all I care about from the DC universe. Superman just seemed like a really cheesy hero. Like, he's basically indestructible. Like, what's interesting about that? Yeah, there's like this one thing that can stop him. Outside of that, he's indestructible. So I never really could never really get deep into that series as far as I'm concerned. Okay, we'll look at the last two a little bit later. Bell, you've under-contributed for the Super Chat. But I'll tell you how it works now. I will give your card a shout-out. You want Xerok. Xerok, the Spellweaver. Boom. Shout-out for Xerok the Spellweaver. There it is. Very menacing looking. So anyone who under-contributes gets a shout-out card. Would you play Xerok the Spellweaver? You let me know in the comments section below. Okay, we're going to go back now to Winter Fox for the second half of the Cyberverse series. Cyber's Zone Set 3. Cyber's Zone. Yeah, we have new card limits now. Because this show is still approaching 2 hours. This is insane. As long as it doesn't hit 3 hours, I will be content. I will be happy enough. Superman's appeal is often the philosophy, what it means to be human, and also stuff like Doomsday and Darkseid can harm him. Interesting. Okay. So there actually is someone stronger than Superman. Okay, I'll get back at it. I'll get back to it. Basically, the super chat color has to change from blue to some yellowish color to qualify. Okay, I'll get back to your card. Directed interrogation. We got for a blue colorless 1 generic. It is a Cyberse adjunct sorcery, which by the way we can tutor out with those other cards. Decode adjunct for 2 mana. Return this card from your hand to your library. Oh, you mean shuffle it into your library. Search your library for a Cyberse adjunct that does not share its name with this card and add it to your hand, then shuffle your library. That is an absolute banger mechanic. That's actually cool. It's almost like a tutor where you have to do an exchange, but the card doesn't actually go into the graveyard. Now let's see if the card, how good the card is by itself. It's definitely a new mechanic. Really good. The shuffling goes later. Okay, I guess so. Reveal that. There's probably a better way to word it. Like, this card's on the stack. Like, you have to play the ability, so the card is on the stack. Search your library for a card like this, and then shuffle this card into your library, essentially. Oh, alert, bingo mistake. More than a 10-10, not a 10-10. Oh! How do I erase this damn thing? What was the last one that we did? Okay, there we go. It was more than a 10-10. Thanks for bringing that up. We made a mistake over there. It has to be more than 10-10. It has to be big. It has to be bigger than big. Yeah, I think it's a very interesting design space, like Transmute. Instead of going to the graveyard, it goes into the library. Here, we have no bingo yet. We have no bingo because Majra is not here, which is a big deal. Reveal the top card. Okay, let's look at what this card does by itself. Reveal the top card of target opponent's library. If the revealed card has a converted mana cost of 4 or greater, target opponent loses life equal to the revealed card's converted mana cost. Shuffle the revealed card back into the library. That's kind of completely fine. It's like blue burn though, so a bit of a color pie break. Yeah, I think that maybe search your library for a Cyberse adjunct add hand. Yeah, it would be worded better. I mean, I still get it though. I still get it. We got blue burn. She gonna burn you. She gonna reject you. Okay, robotics military salvage. This is a colorless blue 1 generic. Another Cyberse adjunct sorcery. Decode adjunct for 2 mana, and also has target Cyberse program or Cyberse tool in your graveyard, and add it to your hand. Then shuffle 1 card from your hand back into your library. It reminds me of nightly garbage retrieval. It's not even burnt. Well, they're losing their life, Winter Fox. They're losing. They're still. It's the closest we can get to blue burn. I respect the blue plus colorless combo. So do I. I love my blue. Love my colorless too. Love my artifacts. Definitely Yu-Gi-Oh! Archetype shenanigans, as Cyberse is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Archetype. Oh, is it? Oh, I didn't even realize that. Shout out to Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay, I think this one is also very fair. You know, just like the style of Winter Fox. It's either overpowered or completely underpowered. Okay, let's look at this last one from Bell. All right, Bell wants the Zerok, the Spellweaver. Let's look at this one. Zerok. Okay, it is a green, black, 1 generic, 2/3 wizard with Shroud. As long as an opponent has 100 or more life, you win the game. What? So we have to basically help the opponent. At first, we're gonna give the opponent life. And then before they know it, we put this thing onto the battlefield and we actually win the game. Pay 2, target opponent gains 2 life. So with infinite mana, we can so this card plus infinite mana is GG. And Grandeur, discard another card named Zerok, the Spellweaver. Discard another card named Zerok, the Spellweaver. Oh, so this is for like 60 card formats. You gain 10 life and target opponent gains 10 life. So just, if I have... But in 60 card formats, we start at 20 life. So if I have all Zeroks in my hand, So basically, we both gain life. I want to say it has Shroud? I want to say this card's probably broken. It's literally a 3-mana 2/3 with Shroud. But the abilities sort of are stupid. Like, these don't really help us until our opponent gains 100 life. Target opponent gains 2 life. I guess it's fair. Yeah, I have to say this is fair. The only thing that would big suck is discarding another card named Zarok and then recycling it over and over again. It's a reference to Helix Pinnacle. Well, not the Grandeur part. Yeah, this is Helix Pinnacle, the creature. It's an interesting idea for a second win condition. I just don't know how broken this last ability is. Obviously, in Commander, no one can use it, but in 60 card formats, they can. But hell, I don't mind if my opponent gives me another 10 life. Go for it. Although I'm sure they're not going to make any attempt to actually kill me. All right, this card passes. Next up, we've got we need Badgers. The second half of your series, we got Savory Transformation. Or did I do this one? Because we did the Glizzy one, right? Oh, Savory Transformation. Maybe we didn't do that one. Savory. Because we did Glizz Blade. Okay, we got Savory Transformation. We have a food. Why does it have Defender, though? I don't get it. Why does... Yes, Savory. Some jokes around here. Why is... Oh, this is literally a... Oh, sorry. It's not a food. It's not technically a food token. It's a creature food. Could be used in sushi. Okay, Defender, 2. Sacrifice this creature. Gain 3 life. We love gaining 3 life. Savory Transformation for 4 mana enchantment. If a player would create a token permanent, instead they create a colorless 0/2 food creature token with Defender. And pay 2, tap, sack this creature, you gain 3 life. So if a player would create a token permanent instead... Oh, so old tokens become food. We got food everywhere. It's like the minions from Conspicuous something you. Huh? Can't remember. From the it's like the bad guy. It's the bad guy villain Disney movie. Wouldn't it be an artifact creature? No, I don't think so. Like, artifacts are like literally machines, right? Like a table or a chair. That's an artifact. You don't eat the chair. You don't eat your table. The templating is just wrong here. It's a fleshy meat. It should be a creature. It's like I think this is the closest that they could get to a colorless creature. It's a meat. It's a meat boy. Despicable Me. That's right. This is Despicable Me in meat form. In the biology class. Everything's meat now. You're welcome to dine. Inside my kitchen, it's all by design. Zarnok the evil meat mage. Ha 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 ha. Food is an artifact subtype, not a creature subtype. Oh yeah, I've totally forgot that, like, the foods are technically artifacts. Yes, foods are artifacts, pretty sure. Well, this is like a new... It's not food token. It's like a different... It's a creature food. The food is a creature. Or does it make a token? It makes... A player creates a token permanent. Instead, they create a colorless 0/2 food creature token. It's a food creature token with... It's basically nameless. It should just be called Food Chunk or something. Food Cube. Food Square. Just letting you know, if you get human harvested, you're not dead yet. Apparently, they just gonna slap some googly eyes on you and you're good for the day. Yeah, for non-token foods, we got stuff like Ginger Brew. Oh yeah, we do have stuff like Ginger Brew. I think this is cool. This is very cool mechanic that you've created. Everyone's going to be turned into meat around here. Okay, next up, we got Morbid Panda. Let's take a look at the new zombie mechanic from Raven Loft. The last 2 cards. Oops. This is green, black, 1 generic for a 5/5 zombie knight with necrosis. So yeah, remember, this is the zombie ninjutsu. When Death Knight enters, if it entered from anywhere other than the graveyard, sacrifice it and lose 2 life. So basically, we're getting into the graveyard one way or another. Why are we losing life, though? I guess it's a cost to trying to get into the graveyard. When Death Knight enters or attacks, create 2 1/1 black skeleton creature tokens. Ah! Oh, it's basically, you created an Uro. It's an Uro, a Flage. When Death Knight enters or attacks, create 2 1/1 black skeleton creature tokens. Now, interestingly, it will already be attacking, and I don't even think it'll trigger that thing. So can I enter the graveyard? Well, yeah. For the cost of 3 mana. I think this is a cool card. How about gelatinous food? You want to be turned into gelatin? Okay, then we got the Grave Caller. There's no, they haven't made a single card called Grave Caller. I don't believe it. Grave Caller. I know there's a Grave Crawler. They have Rakshas's Grave Caller, if you look. Okay, so this actually hasn't been done before. I just had to confirm. Gotta disqualify some cards for sharing the same name as a real Magic the Gathering card. It's a 2/1 for 1 mana. It's a zombie with Necrosis of 1 black. When Grave Caller deals combat damage to a player, mill 4 cards, then return up to 1 land card or zombie card from the milled cards to your hand. If no cards are returned to your hand this way, put a +1/+1 counter on Grave Caller. Busted! This is insane! This is actually just broken as hell. This will definitely, if zombie players needed a card, it would be this. It's absolutely completely bonkers. It can get bigger. That's not even the most important part. So it fuels the graveyard. It's card advantage. It costs like nothing to enter the battlefield. It costs nothing to bring it back from the graveyard because it has Necrosis of a single black. It's absolutely insane. It's completely bonkers busted. I think this is the card that makes Necrosis work. Oh yeah, it absolutely does. But there's a lot of milling strategies that would make Necrosis work in the first place. It should just mill and that's fine. Probably that would be the extent of it. To actually put a card from the mill cards back to your hand, this is just an insane card advantage card. Yeah, you think of Grave Crawler. Grave Crawler is that's a card that already exists. What mana value would you give this? To make it fair, you could maybe 2. Maybe 2 is the difference. Definitely like maybe 2, definitely 3 would be fair. And Necrosis has to be way more expensive. Or you have this at 1 when it deals combat damage to a player. Or okay, or you could have a 1 black 2/1. That's fine. And then you have Necrosis of 3 mana, and then it says when Grave Crawler deals it's like if it was Necrosis this turn and deals damage, you mill 4 cards, return a card from your deck. So this ability only triggers from Necrosis, and you had to have paid, or maybe a Necrosis one is fine actually. So if it dealt damage based on Necrosis this turn, then that might be fair. But like just 1 mana, like 1 mana 2/1 deal damage to my opponent, and then I can buff it up or just get another card from the graveyard and it constantly mills. This card can just completely snowball out of control. It's just absolutely insane. So it's as worded, it's just beyond broken. It would probably break every competitive format. It would definitely be like, because you can't kill it. I mean, okay, you kill it and then you just attack with another random creature. Yeah, crazy good. Now, I mean, there is one benefit. You have to sack the creature, right? But this card is, anyway, I think it's too good. I think it's a little too good. See you later, John Doe. Okay, so next up, who do we have up? We got Michael. Let's take a look at the second half of the Marvel cards. Justice League. We look at Batman. Batman. This is, why is Batman 4 colors except green? Is that what a detective is these days? It's a 1/1 human knight. Well, I think Batman's a little bit stronger than that. Look at all these muscles. Only a 1/1. Utility belt is useless. Okay, it's DC. Sorry. You know what? I'm not the biggest DC fan. Only for Batman, so I keep screwing it up. I watch more Marvel than DC. Sorry, DC. Sorry. The movies are not as good. Okay, we have. I probably pissed someone off. Let me know. You pledge your allegiance to DC or Marvel. You let me know in the comment section. Okay, Vigilance, Hexproof, Menace. Ugh, not Menace and Haste, though. Bruce, Traumatized Orphan, can't be blocked by Outlaws. Bruce, Traumatized Orphan, can't reduce a creature's toughness below 1. Whenever Bruce, Traumatized Orphan, deals damage to a creature, tap that creature and put a stun counter on it. That actually is very flavorful. Prep time! You can pay a double blue. Bruce, Traumatized Orphan, gains Indestructible until your next turn. Whoops, we're not done. Sorry, we're not done. We're not done yet. We're reaching that 2-hour mark. Okay, gains Indestructible until end turn. I don't remember Bruce Wayne ever being indestructible, although he does have plot armor. Like Batman doesn't die, so technically plot armor. Such a funny name for Batman. Traumatized Orphan. Oh my god, my parents were killed by a maniac. Pay red, tap Bruce, Traumatized Orphan, fights target creature. To be honest, okay, well, first off, for this much mana, like, there's some abilities that seem broken, but at the same time, this card doesn't do a whole lot. It's just a 1/1 creature. Like, it very, very small. So I guess I have to say it's playable. Plot armor beats Indestructible. You better believe it. Plot armor beats everything. I can tell you, every single time I'm in a Magic tournament, I always lose to the person who wins the tournament, because you can never beat someone with plot armor. Honestly, Dark Knight is a more appropriate subname. I think the creator, they had something going on with this name. It's a traumatized human. Because, I don't know, if you're traumatized, maybe you're not so strong. You're just fighting people for no reason. Okay, next up, we got Wonder Woman. Red, double white, 2 generic for Diana of Themyscira. I have no idea how to pronounce that. 7/7 Amazon.com. First strike, haste, and indestructible. Oh, this one's but still. Can't beat plot armor. Pay a white, tap. Target opponent reveals their hand. Spells revealed this way cost 1 more to cast. That's cool. That's an interesting way to tax a deck. You could do that up at their draw step on top of that. It's a weird thing. Like, is that I don't know anything about Wonder Woman. Is that flavorful in any way? They are very contradictory abilities. Like, okay, on one hand, you would like to attack. You know, you want to attack with your indestructible creature with first strike. On the other hand, maybe you want to tax it. The taxing ability seems stone cold useless, to be honest. 6 mana. I don't know if the opponent even has cards in their hand to tax up anymore. The Lasso of Truth. I was gonna say the same thing. What a goofy ass name. Well, anyway, all I'll say is this card is totally playable, not broken. Tax would get tough to track over multiple turns. No, not at all, because you just keep your hand revealed. I think that's pretty. Okay, Diana. You target them with Diana. They reveal their hand. Those cards just cost 1 more. That's it. You just don't put them back into your hand until. Well, I guess. You know what? There is a problem. What if you brainstorm or something? What if you draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards? Oh no, well, drawing 2 discard is not too hard. It's a whole draw 3 cards, put 2 cards from your hand back into your deck. Your opponent shouldn't know if Diana was a card that was put back in the deck or if it's still there, unless it's forced to be revealed for the rest of the game. It's about her lasso of truth, which she can interrogate people with. Oh, she's an interrogator, huh? You don't want to be on the other side of Diana, huh? She plays bad cop around here. who's the good cop. She's the one that gets that information out of you. Where is it? What did you do? I have a way of making you talk. Works in arena, but not paper. All right, we'll just say she's an arena card. Target opponent reveals their hand, and spells revealed this way perpetually cost 1 more to cast. Problem solved. Superman would be good cop? I guess so. Who's Batman? Bad cop, good cop? Batman can play both roles, you know? Depends. Depends on his mood. Okay, we got For You. I made a dark ritual on a stick. A while ago. Post is... I got it. Will you put it on Reddit? Where is this going to open it? Dark ritual. Hold on. I'm going to look it up on Reddit, I guess. Dark ritual on a stick. Is this your card? Dark ritual on a stick. Balance not intended. And that actually hits a bingo card. So we don't... I'm only doing this for the bingo. Where is it? Reddit search. You're supposed to post the cards on... you're supposed to post the cards in my Discord. The point being that Reddit sucks. Yeah, we've searched on Reddit. But we found it. Okay, Dark Ritual on a stick. We have a black 1 generic. Legendary artifact. Pay a black, discard a card, add triple black. This can actually... This is probably broken, right? It has to be broken. Basically, if you have 3 mana up, you pay 2 for this thing, then discard as many cards from your hand as necessary. Just cast whatever you want. Yeah, For You says, I did that for the bingo. Although we're still far. We are still far from completing any bingo here. We need a 15+ mana card. Or we need Majra here. Majra's watching this. Oh, we do have 2 hours. We hit the 2 hour mark. Where's the 2 hour? 2 hour stream. Oh, we have 1 bingo! We did get a bingo here. The super chats did it. Yeah, it's still a 2 hour stream. Unbelievable. All right, so we did get there. Yeah, pat yourselves on the back. Anyway, Dark Ritual on the stick, broken. I'm pretty sure it's broken. There's no way to fix this thing either. I guess maybe double black, discard a card, add triple black. But I know what you're going for here. You want to pay a black, or is it broken? Okay, do you know what would make this fair? It just says like you can't activate this more than once per turn, because this is insane. I think it's insane. You know, this is like Bog Witch on steroids. Bog Witch was like, I think the card. Oh yeah, just make it. Oh yeah, you can make a tap. Yeah, that would also make it fair. It's like several Dark Rituals on a stick. It also has a very creepy art on it as well. Yeah, just add the tap requirement. It would be completely fine. That would be the easiest fix for this card. All right, next up, Corbinek. Just 1 more card for the night. The alternative planning. Let's take a look at it. This is quadruple blue. I love quadruple blue. Enchantment. All players can't draw cards during their draw steps. Doesn't that just lock up the game? Each player adds a card from the top of their library to their hand during their opponent's draw step. Oh, so now we're actually not technically drawing a card. Everyone draws a card on every other person's turn. All players can't draw cards during their draw steps, but each player adds a card from the top of their library to their hand during their opponent's draw step. Each play. Okay, so that is very, very interesting. It's a very cool card. Yeah, it's basically 3 cards per round unless it's your turn, and it doesn't count as card draw, so it gets around all those wacky things like Narset or whatever. Screw you, Narset! We've got alternative planning. I've got an alternative idea to get around that crap. Also gets around Bowmasters. Yeah, 3 crowns. It's basically, it's like a super, what's it called? Super Howling Mine. 3 cards if you're playing Commander. Well, I think a lot of you are playing Commander around here. Scourge Familiar does have black for generic flying, discard a card, add black. Add a black to your mana pool. Yeah, well, 1 black is fair, not triple black. Yeah, also screw you, Shieldred. 100% screw Shieldred to forever. Shieldred, probably one of the cards that is unanimously hated throughout every single format. Standard, Pioneer, Modern, a little bit in Legacy, not big in Legacy, and also in Commander. Everyone hates Shieldred. We're all in agreement. Just like Nadu, we're all in agreement. Nadu sucks, but Nadu didn't hit every single format. Absolute shite if you were playing any other format. It's still a Howling Mine. It's a 4-mana Howling Mine with Devotion. Think of the possibilities with Devotion, everyone. Very cool card. Corbinek loves to think outside the box. Darth Taurus, thank you very much for your super chat. Missing number. Well, this is gonna be interesting. I swear we've gotten at least 1 missing number in the past. Just read the emblem, as the other card gives a player that emblem as a sorcery. Okay, so basically we got missing no. We don't see the actual figure, but anyway, it's a glitch. Missing number is a glitch. Glitch Pokemon. Target player gets an emblem, the sorcery, which is missing number. Emblem, missing number. At the beginning of your upkeep, shuffle each non-land, non-token permanent you control and own into your library. Reveal cards on the top of your library until you reveal that many non-land permanents. Put those cards onto the battlefield under your control and the rest back on top of your library. Then shuffle your hand into your library and draw that many cards. This is actually a perfect description of missing number, essentially. It screwed up your database. I had regrets when everyone could unlock the missing number glitch, but at the same time, like, it just screwed up I felt like it just screwed up my game. I regretted. Then I made another game. I played another game without the damn glitch. Unfortunately, it's more based on the item in the game Binding of Isaac, which is based off the missing number Pokemon. I know the missing number Pokemon, which is not really a Pokemon. It wasn't meant to be. Now you're all making me. I'm gonna look up some documentary on YouTube all about missing number, the creation, how it came to be, why it exists, and why it screws the game up. They got great documentaries online for that stuff. All right, imagine resolving this every single turn. Hold on, does it have that? Target player gets the emblem. At the beginning of your upkeep, shuffle each non-land, non-token permanent you control and own into your library. Okay, non-land. Reveal cards on the top of your library until you reveal that many non-land permanents. The rest on the bottom. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. This is... Now that I think about this, no one can attack so long as missing number the emblem is on the battlefield. Or that person can't attack, right? Target player gets the emblem. Shuffle their crap back into their deck. Isn't it just broken? Yeah, it's every upkeep. So every upkeep, I get a bunch of new creatures. And they can't attack. Like, only if they have haste. Well, only if they have haste. What if I have no haste creatures? I'm basically locked out of the game. Yeah, better have hasters. So actually, this card's broken. Maybe at the beginning of each end step it triggers? I don't know. Or it says those creatures gain haste. Which would make some sense. Ban it. You can cross, you can't get rid of this card. Basically. All right. Yeah, this probably has to be worded like those creatures gain haste. Otherwise, like, someone will never attack with their creatures for the rest of the game. So for like literally 6 mana, GG. That's it. It's just GG. No Madra equals no tone. Oh yeah, sorry, Pedgeman. Sorry, Pedgeman. Here, I'll give you 1. Where are you here? I would say 1 person over-donated. Here we go. I have a song card. Get down! Blue, legendary enchantment. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, they may tap, untap, Tap on tap, tap on tap. If they do, they get to draw a card. There you go. You got it. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for being here today. If you want to be part of the show, you got to be here 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks to everyone who supports the channel. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, or even super chat so other people are part of the show. And thanks so much to the Coffee crew for being here today. This was actually one of the most fun custom card shows I had. A lot of unique cards out here. Thanks so much for Dartaurus and Namzi, the Damn Draw, Steve Cooper, Yukiko, Raznab, Pedgeman, Benjamin, we got Forginka, Armando, Shadow Walker. Who else do we have here? Bell, Dinglebag, Winter Fox. We've got this fellow over here. And the Damn Draws. And as usual, my coffee crew, keep bringing up them coffees. And we'll keep bringing up the magic. Take care of yourselves. Oh yeah, here's the thank you. Okay, take care of yourselves. And I will see you at the next cup.